How's it going, everybody? This is Alex Caceres, and you're listening to Story of the Fight.
What is up, Will?
What up, what up?
We're back for another weekend. Welcome, listeners. Welcome to another episode of Story of the Fight. My name is Ramiro. That's my boy, Will, and this is where we talk all things combat sports. And we had some combat sports going on this weekend. Well, we're going to end up covering UFC Vegas 92, I believe it is.
Yeah, we're not covering Fury Usyk, but we will be covering. We're not covering PFL. We're not covering. Oh, well, we'll talk about a little bit about PFL at the end, probably.
There we go. But before we do, Will, I want to remind everybody we're trying to reach 13,000 subscribers first. I know that we always say like, hey, we're trying to get 20. I'm saying, baby steps. Let's get to 13,000 here. So please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you don't like watching, but you like listening, where can they find us, Will?
Yeah, storyofthefight.com will list all of our socials. We're also Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Twitch, Google Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, everywhere podcasts are found. Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, TikTok even.
What? Dang, TikTok?
I mean, are we still? I don't know.
Yeah, we are.
Follow it.
Yeah, we are. All right. So, yeah, we're going to be covering UFC Vegas 92, where, everybody was looking forward to Edson Barboza versus Lerone Murphy. Yeah, and shout out Yanez already joining us.
Is that sarcasm?
Look, dude.
I was hyped for this main event.
As
the card itself, maybe.
As a main event?
I like it.
Yeah.
But I've been super high on Lerone Murphy. I've been waiting for him to finally cross that.
Yeah. Lerone Murphy, one of those guys that you've been hyped on for a while, who's making steps, taking strides towards, being a serious contender, unlike your boy Manel Cop. But hey, dude, too early for those shots?
Too early. Speaking of shots, Lerone Murphy, it took him so long he had to get shot in the face and then hit by a car to get here. It's crazy, this guy. That's why his nickname was the Miracle. Yeah.
Shout out to Ganscow, Genevieve, HOB Comer here. Movie quality Will in the house. Movie quality Will. I like it, dude. Wow, nice. But yeah, so let's go and get started, man. We had Lerone Murphy versus Edson Barboza. That was the main event. What are your initial thoughts, sir?
Going into this, I thought it's a crime against humanity to have Edson Barboza at the apex in a small cage. Someone like him who wants to have space for his kicks. I think it's pretty horseshit to even book him for the apex, but they did it. I thought there would be more of a grappling heavy approach from Lerone Murphy, especially because it's the smaller cage and he can maybe walk him down, crowd the kicks, and hold him against the fence. But I did not expect a jab clinic. Holy hell, dude.
Yeah, instead, he just jabbed Edson Barboza's face off. And then as soon as that second round started, man, Lerone Murphy had an insane amount of pressure. Barboza had no room to breathe. And he just kept on walking him down up until Barboza was up against the cage. And no matter what way Barboza tried to move, whether it's left or right, dude, great footwork by Murphy.
Yeah, just cut him off.
Be like, jab, face, jab, face. Move over to the other side, jab, face, double jab. And it was just like, dude, crazy. He just couldn't get his rhythm going. Barboza
and he found the jab early in the first. First round was pretty contested. I thought Lerone Murphy won it. Then there was that moment where Barboza's on his back and he kicks him in the face with that up kick.
Yeah.
That was that dropped him. There it is right there.
Yeah.
That dropped him. His feet completely gave out and he fell right on top of him. And then the round ended and you're like, oh. And he you could tell the way he got up and like walked over his corner. He's probably just like, all right, play it cool. No idea what's going on right now. But
James Vick style, remember that?
Yeah, every single one of his fights. Oh, the up kick specifically, though, yeah.
The up kick specifically, yeah.
I thought you were Smith.
Was it Price?
Nico Price, I think, yeah.
Yeah, with the up kick, and he just like collapsed on top of him, just like fell asleep, like a little puppet. You just saw.
Yeah, Dominic Ray is Yidri Prohaska.
Oh, that's another good one. Yes.
Yeah. Except. Yeah, he made it. But then after this, he just came out and he's like, I'll just get back on my jab.
Yep.
He low kicked Edson very well. Also, he did mix in takedowns really well. Like he mixed up some punches into shots that were nice. Even if he didn't complete them, he just kept him thinking. Edson, the leg kicks were there. His leg kicks were fantastic all night. And that's one thing. If you're facing someone who's trying to jab heavy, the outside leg kick is good in the closed stance because you need to step in with your lead leg and you're planting on it, and that's the best time to kick somebody is if either right when they plant or right when they're coming off their plant. That's when you want to low kick somebody. Edson times it so perfect because he's so good at that. But it's one of those things where things can cancel each other out. Like if I'm a jab heavy, you probably want to low kick me because I'm planting. But at the same time, if you're a low kicker, I probably want to hit you with straight shots as you're low kicking. So it's like they both kind of work against each other. It's not like one beats the other and that's it, end of story. And that was kind of like what happened in this fight. It was just Lerone's jab was so fucking good. And then he started throwing the right hand behind it. And once he started doing that, I don't know what the hell. I know USADA's gone, but Edson Barboza at 38, 39 or something like that, taking massive shots.
I mean, look at this picture too. They both look ripped. Veins on
shredded.
veins on veins.
Shredded. We're back,
both
baby.
Of them, dude, and I'm here for it.
We're back, baby.
Barboza's still showing the durability.
Huh?
Oh, dang, dude. Well, we'll talk about that later, I guess.
Yeah.
But Barboza's still showing some durability, which is pretty impressive. But in that I want to say it was the third round or the fourth round, where we start showing a little desperation, man. And as he's up against the cage and Murphy's pressing and he's like reaching, kind of looking gassed, just trying to look, or just looked like pretty gassed. And I'm pretty sure it was the third round because I remember thinking to myself, like, man, he has 2 more rounds to go. Like, I don't care if USADA's gone. I don't care how much durable or how durable you look. Like, you got 2 rounds left to go of this, and you're getting your face jabbed off. And Murphy was landing some of the 1-2s as well, so he was connecting some straight shots as well. And I was like, man, I don't know if he's going to be able to survive. But he comes out in the fourth, and I was like, dude, it looks like he got his third wind a little bit.
He came right at him. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, what is going on?
And then it was back.
Yeah, no USADA Barboza is fun.
Yeah, dude. Remember, he retired. And then he was like, I'm back, but I'm going to featherweight. And you're like, what? He was already a big lightweight. And then I think he won his last 2 going into this, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
super
Joey
shredded.
Quarantillo and then Sadiq Youssef.
There you go. Well,
both good wins too.
Yeah. So what's next for Lerone Murphy? If you're setting up the fights, who are you putting up against Murphy next?
Yeah. So Edson was 12, I think, in this fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Lerone Murphy, I know he's like 33 or something like that. He's had a lot of time off. He got hit by that car, almost died because waiting for the ambulance to come because he broke his leg. Got shot in the face. Like he's literally had
not
so
the best
many.
Luck, huh?
Yeah, it's like he's had so many hiccups. It feels so stupid to call them hiccups, getting shot in the face and then hit by a car. But they're hiccups in his career, and it's like time is now at this lower weight classes, right? I know Giga Chikadze is booked now. Give me someone in the top 10, I think. You
top
you
10?
beat Edson Barboza at 12. You go top 10.
Calvin Kattar?
Calvin Kattar would be good. Kattar's coming off a
one.
loss, right? What was his last fight? Yeah, Aljamain Sterling beat him. I say, Calvin Kattar versus Lerone Murphy would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. There we go. You're welcome, Sean Shelby.
Yeah.
All right.
Job.
Anything else on this fight, sir?
Yeah. Lerone Murphy was no selling the leg kicks and like seemingly unaffected in the fight. It never phased him. But I threw a picture in here, this next one, of him post fight. Cannot feel good.
Look at his face too.
Yeah, he got beat up. Dude. I mean, Edson's dangerous. He just no sold everything. Nothing affected him other than that up kick. Everything else, it looks like, just didn't phase him. But physically, it definitely did. It's just the mental toughness is gnarly.
Solid performance though for Lerone Murphy.
Yeah, really, really good.
All right, man. We can move on to the co-main event. We had Harris versus Williams. Khaos Williams, that is. Khaos Williams, man. Every time I see him on the card, I'm like, dude, gotta watch this, right? Because he always comes out bad out of hell, dude.
He's so fun.
He's a lot of fun, but he looked a lot more calm in this one, a lot more calculated when he came in.
Definitely
coming in
calculated.
With a lot of jabs to the body, which afterwards, post-fight interview, you hear that this is exactly what he was working on in camp, so it's just perfect execution. But he kept on coming in on Carlston Harris, boom, jab to the body and stepping back. Boom, jab to the body, and then working up top. So you're Carlston Harris, you're like, I see what you're doing. You're trying to hurt my gas tank, dude. Not today, right? So as Williams comes in, ducking, going jab to the body. On one of them, he ducks,
There's a
doesn't
picture of this,
jab,
Rich.
and Harris tries to land as he's ducking, leaving
He
himself
does
wide
land.
open. In the back of the head a little bit, was it?
Yeah, it was a nice
Right?
shot.
In the back of the head.
Yeah, I
And
think the next picture is the
Chaos
jab
Williams
to the
is
body.
like, oh, you thought I'm
Maybe the
going
next
jab
one.
to the body. I'm coming up top. Boom. Cracks him, dude.
Yeah. So there,
Cracks.
yeah, that's the right hand that Harris landed off the jab to the body, and then
Yep.
Khaos Williams pops right back up, and then cracks him with that right.
Oh, so
it was
good,
nasty, man. It was
So
nasty.
good. And then did he land a couple extra shots on top? I can't remember.
No, he followed him down and landed one shot as he like fell into him, and then that was it.
And then Mergliata was like, that's enough. I've seen enough. But the crazy part is you can kind of see it here where Carlston Harris is laying there, hand on his forehead, like, what just happened, dude? Like,
I'm
in pain. In pain. You know what's crazy is like sometimes you go hear fighters and they're like, yeah, dude, when you get knocked out, like you don't really feel anything because you're knocked out. In this case, where you're still conscious, but you felt like you just got hit on the forehead with a baseball bat, dude, he was in pain. Like it took him a while for him to sit up and be like, okay, we're good.
Yeah. It reminded me of not quite the same, but before Bob Sapp was throwing fights, when he fought Mirko Krokop, and Krokop caught him with that cross and broke his eye socket, and it didn't knock him out or anything, but immediately he just puts his hand on his head and he's like wincing in pain, and he like puts his other hand up and goes to a knee, and they call it. It kind of reminded me of that when you just get hit and you're just like, ow, it fucking hurts.
Do you remember who was it? Rory McDonald, I think.
Oh yeah, when Robbie finished him,
yes,
he wasn't even out.
Because his nose was gone already, and they come and Robbie just lands that hard right, and it was like a delayed reaction where he gets hit, he puts his guard back up, and then he takes a couple steps back and holds his nose, and I was like, oh my god, that must have been like just pain shooting everywhere after he got hit. Again, not as serious, not as bad, but still looked pretty damn painful.
Yeah, I don't want to get hit by Khaos Williams. That dude hits like a truck.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
So hard, dude.
How much money would it take? Somebody was like, well, you got to take a straight shot from Khaos Williams.
Probably like 10 grand.
10 grand?
Yeah, I'd do it for 10 grand.
Plus expenses to the hospital or no?
Well, you got to cover the medical.
Cover the... yeah, I guess. All right, man.
Iron out those terms.
But I mean, that was pretty much it for the co-main. It was a pretty quick fight. Another solid performance from Khaos Williams. Again, it was pretty impressive that at the end of the fight, he was talking about the fact that this is exactly what they had practiced leading up to the fight. So it was a perfect high level of execution from Khaos Williams. And as long as we continue seeing this calm, methodical Khaos Williams, you can cause some trouble.
Yeah, I mean, just all you can do is get better. And getting more and more technical is good.
I love it, man.
Never a bad
thing.
Right.
Next, we had Gorimbo versus Brahimaj.
Oh, we're skipping this one.
You want to skip it?
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
All right. Oh, well, hey, I'll tell you right now. Gorimbo went through, wrestled for 3 rounds, and it was to the point where he had to apologize to Sean Shelby. So as soon as the fight's over, they call the fight, he's close to the cage where Sean Shelby's sitting, and right away the announcer's like, he's apologizing to Sean Shelby right now. And Sean Shelby's like sitting there, and his face, you should have seen his face. Like you could tell he looked disappointed. He goes, yeah, it was pretty bad.
I had a feeling that's how this fight was going to go.
Your feeling was right, my friend. So, we'll go to another exciting fighter then. Adrian Yanez versus Vinicius Salvador.
Back in the win column, huh?
Looking good, too. Yeah, I love it, dude. I love watching Yanez fight.
Same. He's fucking awesome.
Always been an exciting fighter, yeah. But from the very beginning, you could see that Yanez was kind of waiting for a counter, right? Waiting for a counter. You saw it a couple times. There was one where Salvador threw a leg kick. Yanez ducks down, grabs the leg kick, and comes up top while he's holding onto the leg, flush on the nose, cracked him. And I was like, oh, here we go, man. Like, he's just finding any way to be able to counter against Salvador.
Yeah, it's crazy, too. Salvador coming up a weight class, he looked massive in there compared to Yanez.
He did.
It's crazy. Makes me think Yanez might be able to fight in flyweight. Ganska says boring fight. I assume he's talking about the Gorimbo fight that we skipped.
Dude, it was rough. I'm telling you. It was rough.
There ain't no way he's calling this one boring, huh? because it's a fucking firefight, dude. Yanez, we talk about it every time he fights, but his ability to roll with punches and then whip around with the hook or something off the roll is fucking beautiful, dude. He's someone who stays in the pocket and thrives in the pocket because he's
Yep.
just fucking dipping, rolling, and then winging that punch up as he rolls the other way. And like you said, countering, he ends up getting the knockdown off of a lazy leg kick from Salvador, right? I think he takes a leg kick, bam, right hand, clocks him with it, falls back, follows him down, and then like he owed him lunch money or some shit, dude.
But I loved after he dropped him. I love the urgency.
Yeah.
Because look, as a fighter, when you're going in there, you gotta know. One, try not to leave it to the judges. Two, who's reffing? Because your boy Taglioni was in there, and he was like, you know what?
Oh,
and then he celebrated. But he knew Taglioni was in there, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna have to really try to put him out because Taglioni, in the words of Dom Cruz, does some great reffing, and he's giving the fighter every opportunity, right?
Yeah.
So, dude, he just laid it on him and did not take his foot off the gas. Fantastic job from Yanez. Look, he lost to Rob Font. No slouch.
Ooh.
Right? Loses to Jonathan Martinez. No slouch.
Pretty good.
I know that Hey Trujillo, right? The king of Rio made him look like a slouch. But I'm telling you right now, Jonathan Martinez, no slouch. So he had a couple losses in a row. But what a way to come back.
Yeah, this is a bounce back for sure. I think Taglioni, I mean, we'll talk about Taglioni a little bit later, but the dude's legendary on the hot mic. But
that's my guy.
Yeah, it was a good finish by Yanez. The ground and pound, and meanwhile, fucking to Ganskow's point, Brendan Fitzgerald is literally yelling about the finish, making a great soundbite for Yanez, which is something that he told me that he tries to do. He's like, I try to make sure I have a good soundbite for a finish because the fighters deserve that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's fucking sick. Meanwhile, Dominic Cruz is talking about the ref being good because he's still hung up on that finish from Cejudo, dude.
Dude, and you know what? He's going to be salty for a while. Maybe the rest of his life.
Dude. Yeah.
Yeah, stay salty.
That's never going away.
It is.
But yeah, back in the win column for Yanez. Very cool to see because I like the guy. And I think people are starting to write him off. Like, if you look online before this, people are writing him off. But that's kind of what happens when you lose a couple fights. Everyone's like, oh, it was a fraud check. Well, my least favorite term in MMA right now. It's so overused. But I'm sure people are going to be back on him after this because really all that matters is what you did your last fight for a lot of people. But Yanez,
yeah, absolutely.
Still young, dude. He's still coming up.
A lot to learn, man. Dealt with a lot of adversity his entire life. You think this is new to him?
Yeah.
No, dude. Come on.
Just keep working on it.
It's bouncing back. All right. That's all I got on that fight. You got anything else?
Nope.
Hey, on to somebody else that continues dealing with adversity, right? And continues just coming back and showing what they're all about. We got Miss Angela Hill, dude. Look, Will.
I love Angela Hill.
So do I. I've talked about Angela Hill plenty of times. By the way, she fought Luana Pinheiro, in case anybody was wondering. But yes, Angela Hill, I feel like is always somebody that's like right there on the cusp of just breaking into stardom, right? Yeah. She seems like an awesome person, fun interview anytime that she's been on any type of podcast and being interviewed. Yeah. Very cerebral, very intelligent.
What was that?
What music video?
There was like a rap or something, like a UFC rap, and there was like a music video. She fucking killed it. It was so funny.
Oh, dude, I gotta find this after that.
Yeah, I'll try to find it. Send it to you.
But look,
she got a great story. Her grandparents are, like abducted by aliens and shit. Like the original, the OG. Like it's so sick.
That's right. So I gotta take a look at the music video. But you're the one that let me know about this whole UFO thing and abduction. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, dude. Like the original like alien abduction story, Betty and Barney Hill, is like the OG abduction story, and that's her grandparents. It's crazy. Dude, it's nuts. They got abducted. They had all kinds of issues after, weird like rashes and shit. Like couldn't explain it. Family, like cutting family off because they think they're crazy. Like that was the original.
So was Angela Hill already born when this happened to her grandparents?
No. This is when was
so the genetics might be altered or modified. I see. is what you're
Yeah.
saying. After the
She got
abduction.
she got that alien DNA, dude. That's why she's what, 30 something, 38 or something like that, and she's still out here murking bitches. She's sick, dude.
Dude, I love it. Hey, but going into this, Angela Hill ranked 12th,
Hey, shout out
Luana
Toasty.
Pinheiro ranked 9th. A Toasty. So this is an opportunity for Angela Hill to break back into the top 10. And again, dude, let me pull up her losses actually, because this is something where she, again, right on the cusp, right? And there's a couple of decisions that
That's
should
the
have
issue.
gone her way. And I know that sometimes I'm like, could have gone either way. No, there's a couple fights that I've watched with Angela Hill. And I'm not saying I'm a professional judge, right? But some of these that were pretty obvious where
If
you're
anything, that gives you more credit that you're not a professional judge. Because
There
if you
you-
were a professional judge, you would get a lot more wrong. But yeah, there's like
Oh.
three straight up robberies that she was part of. But this was sick. That front kick as she shoots. There's a super cool. She shoots on her. Pinheiro defends it, and then as they're separating and getting back up, she kicks her in the face as she's getting up. That shit was awesome. The picture came up, so I needed to talk about it. And Ganscow tagged the video. Tagged us in the video on
heck yeah.
Twitter or X. So
Thank you. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Ganscow.
But look, Angela Hill, man, for me, continues being one of the dark horses in the division. Am I saying that she's going to be a champion? I don't know, right? But she continues surprising people over and over again. I thought this was a good matchup, right? Because Pinheiro's a very explosive fighter, but and also like high level judo. Pinheiro, right?
Yeah.
Brazilian champion,
Stifle.
and the way that she shut down the judo hip tosses, and in this division, that judo hip toss is money. It works 99 times out of 100, but she stuffed it multiple times.
Yeah, I mean, she it was a flawless performance. She's just so good at like just fighting at every aspect of the game. She stays very good at, and you have to be elite to crack that sometimes, or just like land something crazy, right? But yeah, she gets the guillotine off the shot from Luana.
Never gonna stop jumping gillies.
Yeah, every time I'm gonna think of that. Every single time someone jumps.
I know. Dustin Poirier, thanks a lot, dude. It's stuck in my head now. Like even in my notes, it says Gilly now.
Yeah.
Great,
fantastic
performance
from Angela Hill. Like to see it in the win column.
Also, Pinheiro, I know you're a judo practitioner. Your takedowns are probably a lot better than that lazy double leg you went for, which set you up for that Gilly.
She was getting lit
She'll
up.
Be back, dude. She'll be back.
She was getting lit up.
Yeah. All right. Ready to move on?
Yes. Let's do
awesome.
it.
We had Tom Nolan versus Victor Martinez. Now, dude, one of my funnest moments of the entire night was listening to Saif Saud in the corner, just yelling, "Let your fucking hands go!" Like, dude, at the top of his lungs, and to the point where who was it? I think it was Dom Cruz. Someone was like, "The person you hear in the background is Saif Saud. I promise it is not me or Paul Felder." But dude, it was awesome.
The robot, dude.
But you see, Martinez finally let his hands go,
Toasty,
and he actually cracks Nolan, man.
Yeah, well, they start off. Nolan's doing a fantastic job fighting like a guy who's 6'3". Did a great job using the teep kick, the jab, and just keeping Victor Martinez at the end of everything. But then, eventually, Martinez did come through, and they had an extended combination, and he cracked him, and he drops him. It's like a flash knockdown. There's that right hand right there. Ooh. Genevieve says, "Pretty sure I heard a 'What are you doing? Just get him.'"
Yeah,
the best technical advice.
Yeah,
but
dude.
sometimes that is what you need. Just fucking go for it. Obviously, easier said than done when you're on the outside. But
yeah, but the other thing you got to think about is like I'm sure that there was a game plan that was talked about, right? And I'm sure that part of the game plan was like, look, you're going up against a dude that's over 6 feet tall. The reach is not going to be in like something that's easy for you, right? You're going to have to close the distance. Like you're going to have to close that distance. You're going to have to pressure. So maybe by saying just get him, he's like, dude, just close that gap, right? Like try to follow the game plan, bro.
Follow the game plan, yeah. But the problem, just stand up. I actually last night.
That's the best.
Last night at the tech center, there was a fight going on where guy had really good jiu-jitsu and he kept going for submissions and he almost hit a couple of them. And then I see, but he's on his back, right? And it's the third round. He's probably going to lose. And and then his coach stands up. He's like, stand up. And I'm like, well, sometimes you got it. Not everybody's Derek Lewis though.
Oh, that's funny. Good
Toast
stuff.
says, bro, I almost threw hands at the dipshits behind me. Yeah, there was the guy that Daniel Compton fought last night. His brother-in-law and sister-in-law were sitting behind me, and they were hyped. So I had to out-hype them, which is maybe if my voice is kind of messed up, it's because I was screaming for your boy, Daniel Compton. But yeah, this fight, one thing you can do as a taller fighter is if somebody is pressing forward like that, is you go to the body, and the best way to do that is with knees like this. So he gets dropped, but he cuts him with an elbow. They get up, and then he hits him with that step-in knee as he's coming in and just completely folds him, finishes him up on the ground. Very good.
Very good.
Very
All
good.
right.
Tom Nolan. Fun to watch, dude. Fun to watch a 6'3" lightweight, I think. Yeah, 6'3" lightweight who knows how to use those weapons correctly. Because he clearly does. I mean, he got caught, right? But he has the weapons and the answers for when someone crushes or pressures in like that, crashes in.
But it's always fun when you see a tall fighter like that fight like a tall fighter.
Yeah, it's rare.
Yeah. All right. Genevieve says, so happy to finally have some good blood on the on the pictures. We'll highlight them next time. We'll just
Toasty says him versus Jalen Turner. That would be crazy.
Oh, that'd be a
bit of a step up.
But still fun fight.
But matchup-wise, it would be awesome.
Opposite of Struve, that's exactly who I think about whenever I think about tall fighters that just didn't know how to fight tall.
James Vick, Stephen Struve. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well. R.I.P.
Me.
So, we had a Oumar C versus Tuco Tokkos.
Yeah. Oumar is someone, this was outside of the Lerone Murphy fight. This was the fight I was most excited for just because I know Oumar is very, very talented. And this is like, he's someone that everybody should have eyes on moving forward. And going into this, he was a top prospect. And to see him come through and just like a knife through butter, it's like, ooh, yeah, he's for real. And I know Tuco took this on short notice. I think Oumar was supposed to fight two other guys. And Tuco took this on really short notice. I think like a few days, maybe a week. So props to him for getting in there. But not going to stop the hype train. It's not going to happen.
Now 10-0, right? Solid top control.
Fantastic entry on the takedown.
Yeah, small details such as the entry, the wrist control, right? Yeah. As Tuco kept on trying to move around, really stifled any type of movement. And the way that they kind of rolled at the very end.
Well, that was Oumar's doing too. He started that.
Yes. And so Tuco kind of just goes with it, right? Because that's where the momentum from C was going. And so as they're turning, he turns with his right arm already around Tuco and just sinks it in really quickly, man. That was pretty sweet. What was Tuco yelling? Do you remember?
He's breathing heavy. You're breathing heavy. You're tired already.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
It's like, hey, man,
did he say like he's breathing heavy, B, or something like that, like talking to Brendan Allen or something? And then like shortly after that, he got choked out.
Yeah, when keeping it real goes wrong, dude.
Yeah, that was tough.
But little things like that. There's a lot of guys who will get that backpack and not really know how. It's not that they don't know how, but they aren't able to find the finish, and they might get back control for 4 minutes of a round ends, and you're like, okay, well, that's a good round, but there was never a threat to finish, right? But there's other guys who, if they have your back, they will find the choke. Damian Maia.
I wonder if with Oumar's face right there, Tuco could hear him breathing even heavier.
Yeah, as
he's squeezing.
Filled up with blood. Yeah, nasty finish. First round, I think, right? Just like a few minutes.
Yeah,
very good, very good.
Yep. Good performance. Debut, right?
UFC debut, yeah.
UFC debut. Awesome, man. Good way to debut. All right. We can move on. Melissa Gatto versus Tamires Vidal.
All right. Here's where things go off the rails a bit. This shit was hilarious. This fight. Melissa Gatto already, to start the fight, very good. The 1-2 was money. She goes to the body. She goes to the head. It was fucking nice.
The ground and pound.
Yeah, the elbows from Mount were sick.
Is
really cool
Carly?
Elbows.
Kind of looks like her, dude. Anyways.
Like it. But yeah, the elbows were nice. She had the armbar. There was 5 seconds left.
Mm-hmm.
It if there was 3 seconds left, if 3 more seconds, she would have had it because she switched it to the armpit grip. Yeah, there's the jab. The 2 behind it was nice. Yeah, I mean, it was sick. That she fought really well.
And coming out, I believe it was the second round where Vidal came out a little sloppy, right? Like just throwing hands, hoping to land something.
That's what
but I think that first round, but I also think that part of that first round, she's getting out grappled. She's getting outstruck. And so for her, like, she's like, I at least have some power. Let me come in and see if one of these can land. And hopefully, because I think that coming out into the second round, she probably noticed, like, hey, this is probably my only shot, right? Hey, shout out. Ghost.
Hey, shout out. Hey, there's the wing and punch right there.
Right on time. Great job, Rich.
I hope there's I haven't looked at Twitter at all because I was at fights last night, so I didn't want to get anything spoiled. But I hope there's some animations of this finishing sequence, Ghost, because we can get into it. There's the armbar. She switched it to the armpit grip right when the bell rang. She would have got it done. But then in the third round, she throws that 1-2. The 1 goes to the chest. Bam, right there, right to the boob. And then Vidal goes, ow, walks away, looks at Tyone like, hey, man, there it is. And then Gatto's like, huh? I heard her to the body and then punches her right in the other boob. And then that's a wrap.
Hey, great job, by the way, Tyone.
This could be the female equivalent of the calf kick.
Genevieve says, but it's a legal strike, 100%, which is why it's a legal strike. She holds in pain, looks at Tyone, asking for time. Can't ask for time on a legal strike, right? Again, imagine getting a calf kick and be like, hold on, timeout. I can't do that. So Tyone, excellent job in stopping the fight. And Tyone, being the guy that likes to give the fighters every opportunity possible, said, hey, it's a legal strike. Can't ask for time. That's equivalent to you tapping and say I'm out.
Yeah, I think this is the lesson here is for more women to do more boob punches. 100%.
Yes.
And that's what Gatto did, right? Ganskow says Gatto could have cracked her on the chin when she looked away, but she played the smart move, hit her in the other boob, debilitate her even more.
It's like, oh, did that hurt? How about this one?
This one? And then here we have Vidal is while they're doing the announcement, she's just got an ice bag to her chest. It's fucking brutal, dude.
That sounds like it hurts.
It can't feel good. Genevieve says, pretty sure it's one of those legal strikes that, it's legal, but it's kind of a dick move that people generally avoid. Yeah, and I doubt she targeted her in the chest. She probably was just going jab to the body and then was going to go with the cross, but landed on the boob. Toasty, or just the most inaccurate striker ever. I think you can do that. But Tyone on the hot mic, not quite as bad as the Matt Schnell knockout, where he told him, if you thought the punch was bad, you should see your head hitting the mat. They're crouched. The doctor walks over, and she's like, what happened? Tyone looks up. She got hit in the boob, but that's a legal strike. And I'm like, damn, Tyone, you're just going to say it like that?
But, I mean, he's right.
Yeah. He changed it to breast the second time, but hilarious. Just the fact that it's Tyone dealing with this is so fucking funny to me.
Classic, too. All right.
Should be covers. Let's turn into an adult show with the chat right now. We're only going to talk about one more. Ariane Carnelossi versus Piera Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez. No silent R.
No, I believe she's Colombian, maybe.
Okay. There we go. They use that R. Rodriguez coming out, swanging and banging, catching her every single time she throws a punch, lighting her up with multiple shots, just hooking with the boys. Carnelossi, jacked as always. Both of them jacked, honestly. Dean Thomas called her Sean Shirk, which is crazy. That's fucking crazy. Ghost says, because while the head moves, it's hard to be evasive with the chest and body. Yeah, that's the classic. I'll always remember. That's speaking about the last fight, obviously, but I'll always remember Matt Serra Ray Longo when Chris Weidman was fighting Anderson Silva the first time. Anderson Silva, some of the slickest head movement in the game, especially at that point. In between rounds, as they're walking out, you hear, I think it was Matt Serra, or maybe it was Ray Longo. It was one of the two. They say, punch a hole in his fucking chest. And you're like, yeah, because he can't move it. He can move his head, but just start hitting him in the chest. Because even if you're missing the head, you're going to get gassed. But if you're just, as long as you're landing on something and it's scoring, it might not be the most debilitating, someone hitting someone in the chest or anything like that, but it's landing.
You
You're
would
not going to
think.
gas yourself out, and it is going to hurt, especially if you're Vidal, right? But yeah, that's a great move. Anytime someone has slick head movement, you just start ripping them to the body, even if it's the chest. It doesn't have to be the liver shot every time. Just touch them at least. But yeah, two jacked girls going at it. Starts cracking her. Carnelossi just walking forward, just late to the punch every time. Rodriguez just beating her to the punch and with nasty combinations. Hits her with the front kick in the second round. Nasty. And then I think there's another shot of it from the front. Brutal. Rocks her, stumbles her, hits her again, drops her. They go down. She jumps in. There's the shot that drops her. She jumps in. Bam, bam, bam. Headbutt. And you might be seeing this picture like, what's going on? Why is she complaining? She got dropped. She goes, bam, headbutts. And then she lifts up and then goes for another one. And drops her head on her, and this time it like bounces her
Look
head
at Smith.
back.
Smith's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, and after a warning already, he warned her the first. He warned her the first time. Genevieve says that headbutt was so bad. Yeah, it was Mark Coleman style. She saw Mark Coleman at 300 and was like, "Okay." Ghost says for the Carnelossi Rodriguez fight, I'm surprised there are people angry with this DQ. Rodriguez headbutted her twice. Yeah, first one, the warning was great because it looked like maybe she was just trying to it didn't look super gnarly, but it was a headbutt. And Mark Smith
And
gives
you know
her the
what?
warning.
I actually missed this one. So did it look like she was kind of trying to tuck her head next to
the first time, kind of.
Yeah.
But then the second time, she literally rears her head back, and it's immediate.
Oh.
She hits her once. Mark Smith gives her the warning, and then she postures up and then goes bam right back with it. Actually, Rich, you're gonna like this. There's two shots. There it is, reaching back with her head, and then bam.
Oh.
You just keep going back and forth
Boom,
on that.
boom,
Yeah.
boom.
As she's walking, Mark Smith's like, "What are you doing? Get up!" Like, no, and separates them. As she's walking away,
Dude.
she's like, "God, all this drama now." The mic catches it, and you're like, "All this drama now? You just headbutted her."
What?
It's so funny. Oh man.
Holy smokes!
Yes,
dude.
because this look like straight up left way headbutts. Yeah. Yeah, and Genevieve's right. She was winning. She was outstriking her. Yeah, I mean, headbutts are always hilarious because it's so like
Unless you're getting headbutted.
The unintentional ones suck, right? When it's just like you're both hooking and you. And I knew about the headbutts in this before I watched it because I had to watch it this morning. But I was expecting it to be she was leading with her head in combinations. I did not expect her to just be in her guard headbutting her, straight up Mark Coleman style.
Oh boy, that's rough.
Yeah, so they DQ her. And
well, there you go.
Carnelossi gets the win.
I believe
Fun
that's
fight, though. It's fun to watch.
The last fight we're going to cover, right?
Yeah. I like I said, I haven't been able to watch everything yet, but
you missed Vanessa Demopoulos.
I was about to say a Vanessa Demopoulos split decision is not necessarily something that I need to wake up at 6:30 in the morning to watch for this show.
Fair. That's
after I got home way too fucking late last night.
And it seems like Toasty was thinking that you would probably be hungover today. May I ask, what was the drink of choice last night?
I don't drink, so I'm not hungover, but I do feel like dog shit. Got home way too late. Watched because I didn't know what fights we were going to be covering. So I was like, I'll watch the main event and the co-main event. Open the main, see that it's 40 minutes, and I was like, fuck, here we go. Watched that at like 1:00, and then woke up at 6 so I could watch the rest of them and do all the slideshow and shit. Feel like shit, but it was a fun time, and there were some fun fights. Do you want to hear my breakdown of what people should be paying attention to on this card before it happened?
Yeah.
Someone on Reddit was like, I don't really know anybody on this card. What should I be watching? And I said, Clayson Rodriguez fight should be fun. Apparently it wasn't. Oumar C is the guy to look out for in this card. Check on that one. There should be at least a finish in the Tom Nolan fight. Check on that one. Angela Hill will either put on a clinic or show that Age finally caught up. Age did not catch up. That UFO alien DNA.
Dude, solid.
Yanez should style in this fight. It's a bounce back fight if I've ever seen one. There he goes. Yep. Demba fight could have potential, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a lot of control time. Check on that one. Khaos versus Harris will definitely be fun. And the main event is very good, in my opinion.
There we go. All right.
Could have just done that at the beginning of the show, and then we would have been done.
Do we have a moment of silence, Will?
Yeah. Vidal was originally supposed to fight Haley Cowan. That fell through. Tim Elliott was supposed to fight Tatsuda Taira. That fell through. And then Taira got booked with Josh Van, which would have been very fun. But then that fight got changed, and now he's fighting. Who's he fighting? Somebody that I was like, damn, that's a step up if I've ever seen one. Alex Perez. They got him the main event against Alex Perez. That's right. So yeah, and then Oumar Sy had 2 opponents both pull out, and then your boy jumped in and got choked out for him.
Well, thank you for that sacrifice. Now, bonuses. Khaos Williams get one. Obviously, nice. That knockout was sick. Got it.
And then Angela Hill got one.
Let's go.
Her clinic that she put on. That was very good. Funny. And then fight of the night was the main event, Barboza versus Murphy, which I agree with. That was probably the best one.
Sweet. All right. And then upcoming, what do we have in the horizon?
There's no UFC next week. I don't really know what we're going to talk about, but we will talk about something for sure.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I'm sure
we'll be able to find something. Maybe like
we could finally schedule an interview. Maybe, I don't know. Fucking hell,
that'd be great, dude.
Ben Tynan, where you at?
Yeah, Ben Tynan, come on, dude.
He's like, oh, I'm down.
Dom Lau.
And then he said he's down. Well, Dom Lau said he's down, and then we haven't reached out yet to schedule it.
Let's reach out. How about Louis Khaos?
Same thing. He said he's down, and then we haven't reached out to schedule it.
Wow. So part of it is us.
Yeah, we're definitely part of it. I did get to chat with Eddie Abasolo last night. He was at the fights, and he said he'd be down. He's like, DM me, and I'm down.
There we
go. Also on us to do that. But he was cool as fuck, dude. Eddie Abasolo, that guy's nice as hell. I saw him just standing there on the outskirt of the ring, and I was like, Eddie, can I take a picture? And he was like, oh yeah. He seemed like stoked. But someone was like, whoa. And then we chatted for a bit. And I was like, you on Denver? And he's like, no, I'm not in Denver. And then I was like, about Atlanta. And he's like, and I was like, oh. And I was like, oh yeah, dude, I have a podcast. He was sick. We just chatted for a little bit. And then nice guy, super nice guy. He had like 3 fighters fight on the card last night.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Look at you, Will, doing work, man, while you're over there.
Trying.
At the fight.
Talked to Scott Coker, and I was like, can I get a picture? And he's like, yeah, 1 sec. Never came back.
He just never came back.
But he put on
I got this thing I got to do, and then.
Yeah, and then bounced. But, I mean, he was cool. Toasty was there. I got to see Toasty briefly. He was sitting like 1 section away. It would have been sick if we ended up sitting in the same section.
That would have been sick.
Would have been really cool. But
maybe Toasty will be fighting on the next one.
I don't know if they're gonna do a next one. I hope they do because it was fucking really good. Daniel Compton, dude. I think it was only like his second Muay Thai fight. Daniel Compton in the main event. That's shout out Daniel Compton. He's the one that let me do commentary for his event in Santa Cruz. But he fought a guy. I think he was 11-2 in Muay Thai. Just legitimately beat the brakes off of him for 3 rounds. It was fucking just nonstop forward aggression. He started landing this uppercut in the clinch. It was fucking sick. Toasty says they are doing another one. Fuck yeah. Because it was good, dude. Jessica Rose Clark got a first round finish within like 45 seconds.
Sweet.
Yeah. Oh, actually, there was one. Let me actually show it really quick. There was a knockout.
Can we show it?
Yeah, we can show it.
Okay. Well, as long as we don't get pulled down.
No, we won't get pulled down.
Will making connections out there, making sure that we don't get pulled off for sharing any footage.
So you see Gilbert Melendez here.
Yeah.
He's like, that was crazy. And you're like, what was that? Dude, watch this shit.
Okay. Is it Muay Thai bout?
Muay Thai, yeah.
Okay. Oh!
Fucking caught the kick as she's fucking falling down. Kicks it with the high kick. Would have been, I mean, it was crazy, dude.
Wow. Looks like it was a fun event.
Dude, it was sick. Nate Diaz was there. They had a bunch of people there. It was fucking
You talked to Nate Diaz?
No, he walked by like a couple times right where we were sitting because we were literally like right here. But I don't know. Every time he would walk somewhere, he's getting like swarmed, and I'm like, I'm not trying to fucking be that guy. like swarming
I
him.
got,
Like
no, I got
there was one point where he was walking to the back and it was blocking fighters who just finished their fight from going that way too, and it was just a mob of people trying to take pictures with Nate, and it's like the fighters are like, bro, like, can I please go sit down?
Damn, that's rough.
Yeah.
What a star, man. What a star. All right. Well, hey, thank you, everybody. Shout out Toasty, Genevieve, HLB, Comer, Colleen joined us. Shout out to you as well. Let's see who else. Ganskow, of course. Ghost, thank you for joining us again. I think that's everybody, but it always makes it a lot of fun whenever y'all hop on live with us so we can chat up about fights. And then, of course, if you know anybody that loves talking combat sports, tell them to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're trying to get to 13,000 subscribers as we slowly climb to that 20,000 mark. And then also, if they don't like watching on YouTube, which we highly recommend because you get to see the pictures right as we're talking about them, you could probably listen somewhere else, right, Will?
Yeah, Story of the Fight on everything. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube Podcasts, Twitch, Reddit, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, storyofthefight.com. We'll show you all of it.
I love it. Toasty said, my mom subscribes. Hey, shout out to Toasty mom. Miss Toasty.
Miss Toasty.
There we go. And hey, in case anybody's wondering, because I get asked all the time, right? Like, who produces this show? I always let them know it's produced by none other than Mr. Richard Bustos. There it is. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us for another week of Story of the Fight.